Welcome back to You're in the Loft with me. Today is album 3, track 8, and following the how-to theme, I wanted to try something a little bit different today, which is how to get that professional vocal sound. So yeah, let's jump to it. Now, before I go any further, I think one very important factor to take in when trying to get professional vocal sounds is kind of what microphone you have, what preamps you have in your audio interface, kind of what, like if you're in a professional studio environment, etc., for like that kind of background sound, etc. Is it exactly dead? So yeah, that's just one thing to keep in mind. Obviously, you know, the better your equipment is, the better soundproofing you have, etc., the better it's going to sound overall. But that still doesn't mean that if you have like average equipment and you kind of maximize the results from it, then you can't get these sounds. So how do you go about adding professional vocals to your songs? Now, the first thing I'm going to do is jump straight into the project. And as you can see on the screen, and I'm going to zoom in a bit, behind this lead vocal bounce here, you can see that there is this track which has loads and loads of different takes on it, basically. And what I like to do is I like to basically add or go through and do between 8 to 10 takes of each parts, like the verse, chorus, pre-chorus, bridge, etc., second verse, and I will cut down the best takes, the best bits from each take. So as you can see here, it'll say, you know, lead vox comp A.8, and then here you see A.7, and that's just me comping which I think is the best bit into each track. Now then that gets bounced down into just the lead vocal. To add to this, in the verses, I like to add something it's called an underlay, a vocal underlay. I talk about it a lot in my tracks. You can see here, which will be timed. I use a vocal aligning plugin, which will be timed to the lead vocal, and basically that then allows more weight underneath the lead vocal. So if I play this for you.
Don't run a marathon when it's a sprint, and you're all alone trying not to overthink.
So on that bit, and you're all alone trying not to overthink, I'll add this underlay, and the same goes for the end of this verse.
Said we're leaving in 5, but I just arrived. Can we keep the party going all night?
But you won't be able to necessarily tell there are two vocals there, but it's just adding weight. Now, moving into the next section of the pre-chorus, you want to know there's been a change in kind of dynamic. So I like to add these doubles. And as you can see here, this is where the doubles are. All of these have been aligned to the lead vocal. And you can see that I've put fades in, because it's not just about making sure that you get that lead vocal right, it's also about making sure you get the doubles right. You know, you kind of can't just be like, oh, well, the lead vocal sounds great, I'm going to slack everything else off now. You have to make sure that everything sounds as good as it can be. So with that being said,
think I can see the stars unless you're with me, and this might be the start of something so special.
And obviously at the end of the pre-chorus, you can hear that I've added a high, the octave up, to kind of give the listener that sense that they are going to be moving into the chorus. To add to this change in dynamic, I wanted to add another set of vocals with some reverb on.
Going all night, don't.
So you get that don't with loads of reverb on, which if I play with the production.
Night, don't think I.
So you can hear that it just gives it that extra layer, basically. You have 1, 2, 3, 4 backing vocals, kind of giving it that fluidity into the next section. To add to this, there are some harmonies. Now, if you watch the how to add harmonies video, you'll know why I've added them in, which I can play.
Unless you're with me. And
then another set of harmonies before the chorus on top of the octave.
Of something so special.
And moving into the chorus, which is kind of, I think I explained in the How to Write a Killer Chorus video, but I'm going to show you. You can see here that each vocal has been comped down, the fades have been put on, and these have all been aligned with this lead vocal. So everything is as perfect as it can be. I would definitely recommend trying to buy an aligning plugin. If you have Logic, you can kind of do it for free with like flex time and stuff, but I find aligning plugins better and a bit faster. But, you know, half of my days making these songs, well, I say half, maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours, is just spent making sure the fades are right, the aligning's right, as you can see here. So there's some 9, there's another load of backing vocals to give more emphasis, then there's these harmonies, which I think is 3 each side, so there's like 6 tracks of just harmonies. And if I play that for you, you get a real sense of a big kind of chorus vocal.
So special. Didn't think that I'd fall for someone like you.
Harmony.
Not my type, but I might do. Just a little more loving and I might choose. I like you, yeah, I like you.
And actually, this is stuff that is kind of fundamentally important. Always making sure that parts that need emphasis have kind of doubles on, or big choruses like this where they have doubles and then you put more doubles on. And put harmonies on to give it that drive, give it that emphasis, give the listener that kind of know-how that they're in the chorus if they don't already. Yeah, and then the kind of final thing to add is the ad-libs. Ad-libs are just as important. I will go through and sing multiple ad-libs, 3 or 4 tracks, and I will comp it down into just, as you can see here, 4 little bits of an ad-lib track here which have fades on, which will be perfectly timed. Again, that'll be me just going through, re-singing, and then dropping them in. So if I play these for you.
Be the start of something so special. Didn't think that I'd fall for someone like you.
Which you can hear there. So, and if I play the couple more.
Just a little more loving and I might choose. I like you.
And I think it's important with ad-libs to give yourself as many as possible. You know, it's a lot of the time with me, I'm taking ad-libs out. In fact, all the time I'm taking ad-libs out, not adding them, thinking, oh, you know, damn, I need to go back and re-sing stuff, etc. But that is how I basically go about adding professional vocals. I think one of the main things I can say is try to add as many vocals as possible. You know, sometimes, if not all the time, I'll spend just as much producing as I do doing vocals, and then the same editing. Obviously, you want to edit the production as well, but it's important to edit the vocals to be as perfect as the production. So, you know, in some cases, like the one, which was in album 1, track 7, I think, I left a lot of the vocals loads of breaths in, and it was a bit more free because the guitar that was played in it was played to no tempo. So sometimes you can allow yourself to do that, but with this type of pop, you need to make sure that you add polished kind of pop, clean vocals. But now onto the lyrics for the song. The track is called Falling, and verse 1 I will read for you. It says, "Don't run a marathon when it's a sprint and you're all alone trying not to overthink. Said we're leaving in 5 but I just arrived, can we keep the party going all night?" Pre-chorus, "Don't think I can see the stars unless you're with me, and this might be the start of something so special." I really like the opening line, "Don't run a marathon when it's a sprint," because a lot of the time in life, you're told that it is a marathon, not a sprint. But in this case, I'm saying sometimes in the short term, it's best to break that marathon into different sprints. So I'm kind of playing off that. I'm saying don't try and run the marathon, you know, when it's a sprint. Don't try and live 20 years of your life in 2 months. Try and live that 2 months in that 2 months, you know, and sprint, you know, and push yourself in that 2 months. Don't go absolutely crazy. And you're all alone trying not to overthink. You know, hence that you're going to be overthinking it. If you're trying to run this 20 years in 2 months, you're going to be overthinking it. It doesn't work. Then I go on to, "Said we're leaving in 5, but I just arrived. Can we keep the party going all night?" So a lot like the last song in All Alone, you can kind of see how my lyric writing filters through a little bit, that party theme. And in the chorus, it sounds a little bit like Carly Rae Jepsen influence. Didn't think that I'd fall for someone like you, not my type, but I might do. Just a little more loving and I might choose. I like you, yeah, I like you. Didn't think that I'd fall for someone like you, not my type, but I might do. Just a little more loving and I might choose. I like you, yeah. Once again, kind of honing in on that point, like, I've been kind of semi-ambiguous throughout the song, and the pre-chorus is kind of giving you, oh, you know, I like that person, and then in the chorus, you know, I'm saying, maybe you're not my type, but I do like you, you know, and maybe I will choose to be with you. Verse 2, missing things that I shouldn't miss, like you, but I've only got to call you up. Keep walking with my head held high, no waiting because I keep going on all night. So that's me saying, like, no matter how bad things are going to get, I'm still going to keep going. You know, you can never stop. You just have to kind of keep moving forwards, and that's kind of what I'm trying to say. So that's Falling. That's how I go about writing kind of professional vocals as well. And the audio will be out tomorrow. If you have liked this video, make sure you leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already, and share if you're feeling up to it. Leave a comment if you're feeling up to it. But yeah, that's all from me. Bye bye and peace.